Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about some musical gems in my collection that I love, either valuable or just the fact that I love them for what they are. First one I'm going to talk about, very briefly, is this bad lad here. Many times I've considered getting this put into a safe or something to stop it from leaving the home or just stop it getting destroyed. I won this off eBay years ago for a stupidly low price. I think it only cost us about £80 or something in the beta I had on it. Only thing I know about it is 1,000 copies, I think, original. There's a lot of bootlegs out there. I'm not sure about vinyl. It's basically, it was like a demo disc back in 1996. And Slipknot back then, quite fascinating really. It was like, you've got your bit jazz in there, you've got your bit metal in there, you've got your bit rappy type vocals in there. It was Anders Kolfensky or something. I'm not really interested in him that much. I listened to Pain Face and just run of the mill to me. When Corey Taylor took over, this band really took off. I mean, the songs on this album, of an EP even, demo, that you'll hear, Slipknot, the song Slipknot, it's basically Sick by Slipknot is a version of that musically on like steroids or something. Like, if you listen to it, it's really like slowed down in this version. Gently, of course, if you're a fan, you'll know from Iowa, probably the darkest album of 2001. I love that shit. You've got your things like Do Nothing, Bitch Slap. I mean, I want to see these live before Paul Gray died. Rest in peace, brother. And they did a throwback for this, and Corey held the mic up to his mouth, and Paul Gray did the ooh ooh bit that he does in this song. Fucking hell, it's such an interesting album to listen to. Only One, of course, from self-titled. Tattered and Torn from self-titled. Confession Some Feel. Killers Are Quiet is actually the song Iowa, the first version of it anyway. And you can obviously hear the music in it, but why they don't re-release this along with Crows? If you're a fan, you'll know what Crows is, or you might not. Crows is basically, it was the middle ground of this EP and the self-titled album. There was demos on there where they were like sort of comparing Anders' voice with Corey Taylor's voice, and it was kind of a test thing. But you'll hear like the very first version of Scissors, which had a totally different, I can't remember what it is now. Heartache and a Pair of Scissors or something along those lines. But there was a lot of songs on there like Coleslaw, Carve. Now there's all this shit that they should really re-release it just for the fans, I think. But that is a gem in my collection. Secondly, not hard or viable to get, but you know, this beauty right here. This version of this anyway. This album, to me, If Iron Maiden retire now, this is the perfect swan song of their career. If you've not heard it, I highly recommend you listen to the song Empire of the Clouds. Wow. 18 minutes. Goes by in 5, I swear. And it's a story of the tragic disaster of the R101 airship. I'm obsessed with it at the minute. I think it's a shame that it got ignored because of the Hindenburg. Because the Hindenburg crash obviously was caught on film. And R101, it wasn't, it crashed in the countryside in France somewhere. But it's 18 minutes. Honestly, even if you're a metal fan, I implore you to listen to that song. Don't be put off by the length of the time. It's fucking amazing. It'll blow your mind. Really good. My Alice got me this one, and I've been looking for it for so long. Couldn't find it. Well, I could, but for stupid prices. 5 Finger Death Punch, The Way of the Fist, the Iron Fist edition. Now, I know this band's, like, Ivan Moody ain't going to win no awards for lyrics, by the way, and he actually offended me in one of his songs, but I'll not get into that. But I was going through a violently psychotic breakup at the time, and all I had at work was my iPod, and I just listened to 5 Finger Death Punch continuously every day, and I love it. If you're going through a bad breakup, honestly, listen to Death Punch. It really is good therapy. The big one, my collection, and the only reason this is so viable right now, I'm sure it's because Jeff Hanneman died. Slayer, the soundtrack to the apocalypse. it's basically, it's 2 discs worth of good Slayer material. Let's have a look here. You've got disc 1 and 2, which is like a pretty much a greatest hits of all the stuff, really. You have disc 3, which is Shit You've Never Heard, it's called. A lot of live stuff and a lot of demo stuff that's on there. And the next one is a DVD called Shit You've Never Seen. Really good. Some of the quality's a bit off, but you know, that's what makes it more special. You have a book, basically about the history of Slayer, all the shit they got into, the riots that started at the concerts that they never knew about. You have, of course, the Blood Pack live show from Anaheim, which is, I love this so much. I love that. That's fucking amazing, that. You have the Slayer Nazi flag. I don't support Nazi behaviour, by the way, but this flag is going on the wall. You can bet your ass to that one. I just don't want to get it damaged anyway. I'll tell you why in a minute, because this, where has it went? I have a backstage pass in there, soundtrack to the apocalypse. This bad boy, the last time I checked, was going anywhere between £800 to £1,000. So this gets well looked after now, well looked after. It's more valuable than that, which is hard to find if you know you're a fan. But those are just a few highlights of my personal favourites for my CD collection, just because of rarities and valuables, more or less, you know what I mean? But what do you think about those albums? Or do you have this box set? I know you can get a different version of it, but that is actually the Ammo Crate set. As you can see. But what do you think? Tell me what you think. Comment below. You know the crack. Give me suggestions. I love music. I adore music, especially metal and rock. Hand me some suggestions for bands I should listen to that maybe I haven't heard, because I love checking out new bands. I'm currently exploring death metal, which I never have before, and it's a big step to take if you're into melodic metal and stuff like I am doing. But throw some at it. I'll give it a listen. I will tell you what I think. Thanks for watching though, and like I say, like the video, sub if you want. It's up to you. No harm, no foul. Thanks for watching, guys. John out.